You know how rare it is that like every single SCP that we read so far actually has an author with an author's page. We had so many SCPs before where there was no author's pages, like the last like 30. But now like the entire read, I think every SCP. Well, we don't know. We don't know. Haven't seen the last one yet. But every SCP so far has an author's page. So Eleanor de Fabry. There were 2 SCPs, and this is the first one of theirs that we get to read. So you wrote, "Und ruhig fließt der Rhein." So that's German. Here, so you can see it. "Und ruhig fließt der Rhein." Basically means and the Rhine flowed quietly. So the Rhine would be like, you know, a river. Oh, is this the one that? Okay, this is the one that Howard said. That has 4 minutes audio. Cool. Okay, it will give me a little pause, a little break. But let's go. Object class Euclid. Special containment procedures. Inside containment of SCP-2278 has been approved as of 21/6/1996. Also, I'm pretty sure that I recognize this image. All standard regulations pertaining to the Genius Loci protocol apply. Remote monitoring of the containment perimeter is to follow the protocol guidelines for low threat anomalies. Direct inspection of the case soundproofing is to be conducted twice a year. Maintenance access to the underground chamber where -A resides requires standard driving equipment as 5G ingot, fine gold, and active sound cancelling headphones. Communication efforts to skew popular representation of the local legends towards the less threatening versions are to be made and periodically evaluated. So the Rhine River above SCP-2278, 2278 source. I have to look what the Rhine is. Yeah, so I did see it before. Yeah. Yeah, Basel. There we go. That's where I saw it. Okay. SCP-2278 is a cognitohazardous sound pattern originating from a cave at 50 degrees 822 north, 7 degrees 44 east near the town of Sankt Gorshausen in Germany. It's more will be Gorshausen to be honest, but yeah, in Germany. The place had been known for centuries as the location of a peculiar echo, but only attracted wide attention from the early 19th century onwards. Cognitohazardous effects are not tied to the original source of the sound, and recordings are equal hazardous. However, testing has shown filtering out the 6 to 8 kilohertz band renders both directly exposure and recordings innocuous, which indicates the cognitohazard is most likely tied to a pattern of harmonics in that band. We're going to listen to this voice message very soon. Maintenance log audio excerpt SCP-2278 /15-8/1996 -ML1. The following excerpt was recorded during the first scheduled maintenance of the containment perimeter. It is representative of current SCP-2278 activity. Cognitohazardous harmonies in the 6 to 8 kilohertz band have been scrubbed, making it safe to listen. Okay, music off. I'm gonna mute myself, and here we go. Okay, that was fucking baller. That was awesome. Really well done. Really well done with the sound there. That was really cool. I like that. I'm also wondering, like, part of it did sound like almost like a whale, like also like be considered like some sort of monster or like creature. But like, yeah, no, really cool sound. Like, if I heard that in real life in a cave, I'd be like, okay, we gotta leave. The closest areas accessible to the public, sound pressure averaged 35 decibels before soundproofing of the cave and was not easily distinguished from other background noise. Exposure to SCP-2278 in those conditions was mildly cognitive hazardous, causing disorientation and uneasiness as well as suicidal ideation in depressed subjects. Such effects were only temporary, disappearing when perception of the pattern was discontinued. Cognitive hazardous effects at ground level stopped after the cave was soundproofed in 1996. Direct exposure to SCP-2278 in the cave itself causes more pronounced effects, the most notable being catatonia and a significant perceptual time dilation. Ooh boy. After effects can last for several months, manifesting as dysthymia or low-grade clinical melancholy. Sound pressure at the source is variable but routinely reaches 130 decibels, making it a direct physical hazard. The anomalous nature of SCP-2278 was not discovered until advances in statistical analysis revealed a higher than average mortality rate in the area. Several drownings and barge wreckings first thought to be accidental have since been reclassified. The signal source itself was serendipitously identified during an investigation into the disappearance of several divers in the immediate area. After contact with Agent L was lost, his beacon kept emitting from location inside the rock. The retrieval team found no access to the beacon's location until Agent D accessed a previously unseen underwater tunnel. Later testing showed the entrance appears as an impenetrable rocky talus to anyone who not carrying gold. Both Agent L and Agent D wore gold signet rings. After a short sump, the entrance tunnel leads into an irregularly shaped underground hall. 47 meters length times 37 meters width and times 37 meters height. 23 meters width, 27 meters height. In its largest dimension, most of the hall is occupied by the carcass of a creature lying in pooled red water, from which the anomalous sound pattern emanates. The carcass designates -A resembles that of a specimen of Balanoptera schools in an advanced state of decay. Okay, no explanation here, so let me just... Blue whale, yeah. We did guess the whale. It possesses several features reminiscent of misshapen arms and legs, a mane of fine blonde hair, and a human-like feminine face. Okay, that's kind of creepy. A blue whale that has human features is... Any animal that has human features is creepy. Okay? That's why, like, Jinmin is such a good, like... Because, like... Giving an animal, like, a human face, you know? Human eyes, human mouth, all that stuff. It's just very creepy looking. You just don't want that. Necropsy of -A has shown an apparent genetic makeup with only passable correspondence with B, Musculus and H sapiens genomes. The analyzed tissue is heavily contaminated by organic pollutants, organophosphates, dinitroorthoxycresol, endosulfan, mercury, ethoxylethyl hydroxide, dyes, and other compounds. This luminant profile matches both that of red water found in the cave and of the 1986 Schweizer Halle chemical spill. 37 human bodies were recovered from the cave in various states of decay. Autopsy of the freshest ones indicate death from exposure and dehydration. Unconsumed supplies were recovered, lending credence to the hypothesis that the wrecked SCP-2278 exposure caused a deep and acute form of melancholia. None of the recovered artifacts were older than the second quarter of the 19th century. So is the echo that we heard of the blue whale like an echo of the past? Like the blue whale when it was still alive? Also, how the fuck did the blue whale get to the Rhine? Given the touristic nature of the site, non-destructive extraction of -A is not feasible. In situ containment, tentative Euclid classification, and application of the Genius Loci protocol were requested on the 11th, 1996, and subsequently approved. ICO 7010-W003 signage is installed on the water near the entrance to discourage access. A secure airlock was built to restrict access through the tunnel. The main hull was sunproof with 50 centimeters of low pressure spray polyethylene foam. Addendum: internal memo DOE/LDC/18/4/1996 IM1. Complete and undisturbed. What a lovely para-archaeological record. Heine, 1824. Nothing we recovered was much older than the poem. This isn't the first anomaly we found that was created through manifestation of belief. This is, however, the first time we have solid material proof towards the hypothesis. Only time will tell if the Genius Loci protocol can alter those anomalies just enough to make them non-threatening. But this is our perfect test subject. Louis de Chavier, Director, Department of Ethnography. Do we want to... I mean, this looks like... Oh, okay. Yeah, no, we can read this. This is short. Agent Sherman walked the length of the covered bridge like every night. Maybe the hunt would show up. Or not. Such a sad little spectre with no reason to hate humanity other than having been brought into existence by them. The spectre most likely didn't know anyway. Even the eggheads didn't agree on that. What they agreed on was the patrols and blocking of the road when needed. No one wanted to clean up another panic-induced car crash on that bridge. Agent Leroux jogged on the path circling the lake. Tourists picnicked and laughed and kayaked over the still round mirror nested in the crater. Children sat on the ominous rocks that the local peasantry had named the Devil's Throne. The bustling, joyful atmosphere left no clue as to why it had been the Lacus Pavans terror lake to Roman invaders. Decades earlier, skeptic scientists had proven its water no more poisonous than they were bottomless, and that was for the best. Such dangerous lessons were unneeded. Leroux took a less trodden path of the circular trail. The dark round hole at the end was his last stop for the day. Not the gate to hell the locals once thought it was. It was an opening in a long, cool lava flow, hiding another lake that sat quietly on the ground, far from the eyes of curious visitors. Agent Meyer watched the barge lazily going up and down the river. He lit a cigarette, listened to intently for a while. Nothing out of the ordinary. Wind and traffic and the muffled voices of tourists carried on the wind. Too cold to dive today, he thought. But he didn't decide to maintain his schedule. He crossed his equipment checklist, noise-cancelling earphones in a waterproof bag, security card, oxygen bottles, and on 1 5 grams ingot of fine gold. Who knew why? He didn't write the containment procedures either. Louis de Chaviel tamped the bowl of the Meerschaum pipe, ocean foam, rubbed the smooth, yellowing back of an ivory cat, flipped through a box of records and pulled an old 78 RPM from a coupling sleeve. Amidst crackles and pops, the dark notes of Alkan's music filled the laboratory, her laboratory. When her colleagues had moved on to pristine high-tech whiteness, the place still had the charm of a forgotten Wunderkammer, wonder chamber. The dust of 102 few ever came knocking at her door. The Department of Ethnography once had its heyday. Now with only her. The boys at memetics, they didn't understand the patterns that were weaving. The anomalies that grew out of people's belief, like delicate crystals, were prone to shatter and fade like dust in the wind. Modernity had crushed legends under the jackboot of hard science. Postmodernity had made what remained ironic. In either way, the monsters that the fears and dreams of humanity had bred were decaying. All of them languished, just waiting to be reclassified as neutralized, like tawdry lambs to the slaughter. Her eyes stopped on the faded postcard of the Lorelei Rock, and her mind wandered. She wished she could have seen her in her glory days, before minds turned away from her, and before the Rhine turned red. Was she always a whale? Was she always dead? She wanted to believe the silence once was beautiful. Even legends grow old and fade away, some faster than others, and so many that were gone forever, before the Foundation could even learn about their existence. The Genius Loki Protocol was her idea, a flawed idea. It was so easy to contain anomalies in situ, to keep the people close to them, to bring more as tourists. The department hid horrors in plain sight through vocalization and bastardization. The Foundation filed fear away until only quaint folklore remained. Gone were the incidents, but so were the legends. And the material life collective imagined had borne them into was ebbing. Slowly but surely, the Foundation ended up doing no better than the global occult correlation, anomalous reality erased. Unless the department wasn't dead yet, she wasn't. What she needed, first and foremost, were more ears and eyes. It's always nice to have an SCP that's like near my place. It's just like, you know, makes me realize like how global this whole website is. Like it's just, I think that's what's cool about SCP Foundation, is that like each SCP could take place anywhere in the world. Of course, some countries are being mentioned more than others, but that's fine. It's just nice to be like, oh yeah, this is for that country, this is for this country. I wonder if by the time I finish reading the SCP Foundation, like once I caught up to all of them, if every single country got mentioned once. I'm pretty sure by that point it would be. I absolutely love the audio track that came with this. So eerie, but yet very soothing. I understand Louise. Is that how you spell her name? Yes, no, okay. Sometimes an anomaly can be a world wonder, but we can't share them to the public for the sake of normalcy. It's a shame. I feel like I agree with Louise. She's like, this could have been like a story to tell, or something that could have like maybe even like inspired people and all that stuff. But now it's just something that we kept away. We have to keep away. We have to keep it trapped. It died and all that stuff. Yeah, it's I can imagine it's a very like depressive thought to have.